Nothing in life worth having was ever given on a plate.
The Richard McCann of the ICANN Academy. You're talking about a young man who went through the most awful scenarios and came out the other side.
When you go through something tragic, it basically educates you that you can get through this. So when the next setback occurs, and you know, you can't take the pain away, but you'll get through it.
More than 3,000 speaking events across the world teaching you about how you can live your best life.
I think it's my desire that's made me successful.
What's success to you, buddy? How do you define success?
I think success for me is just improving my lot. Improving my mindset, improving what I'm able to do or enjoy, improving the numbers in the business, improving my reach. It's just about, success is about, I guess, being better in all those different areas, improving in some way. And of course, we've all got different criteria about what success is. But for me, whatever I look at, just trying to get a bit better each time, each day, each month, each year.
What's your formula for success? Or how does success happen in your mind? What's the way it happens?
Like when I became a speaker, 2005, I saw that other people were speaking, people with stories, in particular, W. Mitchell. I saw this speaker and I thought, my gosh, this guy's fantastic. And this is what he does full time. I thought, if I could just work out how he does it, if I can study him, then I'll certainly have some of his success. That's what I thought. And it's exactly what happened. And, 3,000 keynote presentations later, it's quite a good philosophy to have. Knowing that if I do something, the first time I do it, and I did it again and again, I'm going to get better at it.
Is there any other thing you think that is important to making success happen?
My business is called the ICANN Academy. It's about starting with that belief. I can do this, then doing it. You probably won't do it as well as you could do it. So then get better, model other people. And that's kind of my philosophy. I wrote a book. Ask for help. I wrote a book before I started speaking. It was a #1 bestseller. I knew that the other people were out there writing books. Dave Peltzer was the guy that inspired me. A Child Called It. So I thought all I've got to do is write it in a similar style to him, get some support because my English was poor, and the rest history. Is
there one or two things that you think have propelled you to your level of success?
I think it's my desire that's made me successful. I think any job I ever do, I've always just been so keen and eager. If somebody else can do something better than me, then I want to have a look at them and say, right, okay, what are they doing? In fact, that's what happened when I won the award at the newspaper on the telesales team. I found who was the best. It was a guy called Baljit Singh. And I modeled him. I sat with him, got to know him, saw his energy, saw his style, and I won the award, became supervisor there. So that's part of my philosophy, just observing other people. Although I have to say, as I said earlier, other people have different criteria for success. And maybe as I get a bit older, maybe I might look to work 1 or 2 days a week.
How do you succeed at resilience?
Most of it starts with mindset. Success starts with mindset. But when you go through a traumatic event, and I don't just mean the murder of your mum, but a tragedy, a setback, hardship, it's about what you think. It's called your explanatory style, isn't it? It's what you think about that situation.
Take me more into explanatory style, because I think that's something brilliant that you teach.
So if you look out the window and it's raining, and here in the UK, most people look out the window and go, oh, look at that horrible weather. The fact is, it's not horrible weather. It is weather. And we create the horrible weather in our minds. When my mum died, and I told myself as a 5-6-year-old boy that she'd been taken by God to stop her suffering. And so that me and my 3 sisters would have this fresh start with my father, my estranged father, and his new girlfriend the following year. That thought process or explanatory style is what helped me deal with that. And as crazy as it sounds, but it helped me at the time. When you go through something tragic, it basically educates you that you can get through this. So when the next setback occurs, and you can't take the pain away, but you'll get through it. In my resilience workshop, we have this thing called the bounce back graph, the ups and downs of life, up in the green, down in the red. And when I do this in organizations, every single person that's lived on this planet has got a very similar looking bounce back graph. We all go through stuff, and I'm sure you've been through stuff. Yeah. My point is this, though. You don't stay in the red. There's always a way back.
How do you succeed at self-talk?
And Brad, I have to say that I've not always succeeded at self-talk. It's taken me a good few years to start addressing that and realizing that some of the thoughts that I have, that we all have, are not from us, it's just from our experiences. How do you address that? It's about challenging that thought and realizing just because I think something does not make it real.
How do we succeed at having the courage then? Because that first step, that first thought, all of those things come back to that.
Courage is doing that stuff despite being petrified, which reminds me of me getting on stage age 13, writing my book. that first book, I was bearing my soul. That took some courage. But one of the things that I often think, and I thought it when I entered the public speaking competition at school age 13, and I thought it when I wrote my book, and I thought it when I became a speaker, I thought, whatever happens, I'll be able to deal with it.
How do you become the best version of yourself? I
guess what I have to do is reflect on how we're doing, how I'm supporting him, how I'm creating those boundaries. It's about reflecting, isn't it? So how am I doing right now in business, in my personal life, in my family life, as a dad, as a parent? And then being honest, and thinking, well, how could I have done that differently? How could I have got better at that? And it goes back to what I said right at the beginning, didn't I? I'm always looking for ways of improving.
What's your theory on going from good to great?
It is that looking back at how did I do? And I'm thinking of the people that I coach, presentation skills and storytelling. And if I think about myself and going from good to great to amazing, it's been a long journey, but it's been that investment in yourself. Like for me, when I first started speaking, I started recording myself, taking some time to look at how I'm standing. Am I giving eye contact? All those basic things, and just thinking, oh, that could have been better. So for me, it's about that constantly looking at where you are. How did I do? Reflecting and deciding, right, how can I sharpen the saw? Who said that? Was it Stephen Covey?
Stephen Covey, yeah.
Always sharpening the saw. So that's just something we can all do, but you've got to spend the time to do it and be honest. And sometimes it may require a coach to help you with that, because of course we don't always see our flaws sometimes.
What's your key to that, going massive?
Leveling up over here means helping other people increase their levels or raise their bar. So leveling up is helping the underdog. And you know what? That's one of the things that I've always done. I think karma has a lot to say in this, so to speak, because if you help other people get to where they want to be, somebody once said, you're going to get there much sooner. And it's what I do. It's why I've got, I won't say one of the members of staff that we've got in the room, but a few years ago, she wasn't in a good place. I gave her this role because I wanted to help her level up, so to speak. So it's not just about me and my business. It's about those around us as well.
What do you think's the difference between those who do it and those who don't?
It's perseverance. Nothing in life worth having was ever given on a plate. Wouldn't it be great? Here's success. Here's your qualifications. That is not how it works. Charles Marcus, I think he's over in Canada. Success is not a spectator sport. And he's absolutely right. You got to get involved in the game. And I think part of succeeding in life is deciding, right, okay, I've got this far. What can I do to go to the next level? It's like the resilience thing. It's deciding I'm going to aim for that. If other people can do it, then so can I.
Hi, and thanks for joining us on the Big Success Podcast. I want to give you a free gift, but first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Subscribers make sure we get a better podcast, build it bigger, and create more great content for you every single week. Now, that gift, jump on bradsugars.com. You'll see the Big Success Starter. It's a free video training course. Dive on over, bradsugars.com. Let's get you building your success.